Good morning from the heart of New York City. This is Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast dedicated to one thing to learn and apply to eat better daily. I'm your host, Angela Shurina from Create Yourself That Today, your personal nutritionist, your personal fat loss guru, your fellow biohacker, your personal health and wellness coach, and just someone who is very, very passionate about healthy food, healthy eating, fat loss, and what you put on your plate daily to make sure that you look the best, perform the best, and just feel awesome. So this week, as I promised, we are gonna dig deeper into fat loss, into creating fitness model body on especially keto, low carb, intermittent fasting, on how to successfully, according to recent studies, according to all the books that came out, according to recent diets, how to lose the most fat in the healthiest, most effective way with the least suffering and less health consequences. Or basically, we want to improve health, we want to get leaner, we want to build and preserve muscle mass, and that's what we're going to dig deeper into by summarizing all the books that came out, studies, and all the resources that I've came across over all the years and especially recently. So today, before we dig deeper in quite a few books, I decided to do a little bit of history research about diet and especially low carbohydrate diet. And you'd be surprised, might be at least, that low carbohydrate diet go back with first kind of booklet, a book published back in 1861 by William Banting, English undertaker that I suppose was some kind of an entrepreneur. By him, there was a booklet published, really small one, you can Google it, Letter on Corpulence. So in 1861, there are a few editions, 1864 also. So in 1860s, William Banting published his booklet that summarized his own low carb and closer to ketogenic diet experience. He struggled with weight for a long time. You can also Google him, William Banting, and he was prescribed all kind of diets and exercise programs, and he tried them all and never really lost anything beyond like 6 to 10 pounds, where he was 200 pounds and he wanted to be somewhere around 160 something, and he got there by following low carbohydrate, higher fat diet prescribed to him by one of the physicians, Dr. William Harvey, who actually created this diet that's now called Banting in Sweden. When you go on a diet, they even call everything Banta. That's how popular it got. Anyway, Dr. William Harvey created this low carbohydrate diet and prescribed it to his diabetes patients. And it worked well. Diabetes usually goes hand in hand with obesity or getting overweight, and the same kind of problems that people that are not necessarily diabetic have when they get obese, when they get overweight. Anyway, after he published his booklet that we get on details to shortly, that got really popular. A lot of people got into low carbohydrate, high fat diets, and most of the people got results, without even any kind of studies or genetics or gut microbiome, etc. It just worked for most people, but especially worked for what in the booklet they call carb resistant people. And you are carb resistant, or the same kind of person for whom this diet will work if your weight fluctuates you have carb cravings that you cannot resist. So for example, if you start eating something sugary or with starch, then you cannot stop until you're full or your stomach hurts. You're starving first thing in the morning. You're more of an emotional eater, eating more out of emotions to balance your emotions. Starchy meals, sweet meals make you sleepy. You're especially irritable in the evening. Women, if you have mood swings, if you have more cravings during your period, if your weight fluctuates a lot, also a sign of being carb resistant. And if you gain weight around especially your waist, then yes, you might be carb resistant, and low carbohydrate diet, high fat diet is something that you might consider. Another thing, there's been an Arctic explorer, explorer and ethnologist, and I cannot pronounce his name properly, but anyway, they did this experiment where they went and lived with Inuits, also was 20th century, beginning of 20th century. They went and lived with Inuits who eat most of the year, 80% of the year, fish and meat and no carbs, no plants whatsoever. And they also got on their diet, and that was 4-year experiment. In the Arctic, they didn't have any kind of food except what they could fish and kill in Arctic and what Inuits ate. And for 4 years, they ate just that, and they had no health problems. They had some health problems when they tried to restrict fats. So restricting fats on low carbohydrate diet is not a great idea. Even then, they realized that your body can function on basically two kind of fuels, fat or carbohydrates, and when one goes up, let's say carbohydrates, your fat gotta go down. But when your fat goes up, your carbohydrates gotta go down for health, performance, and longevity, and weight loss and fat loss. So that's another kind of like interesting piece of information about the history of low carbohydrate diets that go back all the way to 19th century. So what's that all about? Banting, low carbohydrate, high fat diet, when it all started? Well, the basics of this diet were no fruit, except for low sugary fruit that I'm gonna post a link in the show notes if you're interested. But those fruits like more of a sour and berries, so basically strawberries or raspberries, blackberries, and then maybe plums and kiwis and a few other low sugar fruit. Then there was no bread and basically no grains, no butter, no milk, so no dairy products. That what it makes it different compared, for example, to modern ketogenic diet where a lot of people eat dairy. Me myself, I noticed that also, like my health, my weight goes down when I add dairy products, except for maybe occasional goat and sheep yogurt or kefirs. Anyway, so no dairy, no milk, no butter, no sugar, no beer, no potatoes, and any kind of course, starchy vegetables. And for some reason in this diet also William Banting practiced no pork, no salmon. I'm not sure why it doesn't go in details on that, why they decided to do that. But yeah, William Banting, that's what he practiced. No bread, no butter, no milk, no sugar, no beer, no potatoes, again, no grains. It means no starchy vegetables, only some low sugar fruit. As a snack, a little bit, not a lot, no pork, no salmon, and he also drank some dry wine. So that was William's Banting diet that allowed him to lose easily without much movement at all or any kind of special exercise program except for being active and walking. That allowed him to lose 40 pounds without any science and all these fancy and difficult meal plans. So And again, even in his booklet, he said that this diet might not be perfect for everyone, but this is perfect for carb-resistant people. And we talked about what signs you should look for if you want to kind of figure out if you are one of those carb-resistant people. And to sum up, William Banting, look him up, English Undertaker. He created this letter on corpulence that's available online on Google, a very short booklet that you can read in like 30 minutes or so. And you can also, Google him, read Wikipedia, read all these interesting facts from or about the history of low carbohydrate, high fat diet that goes back all the way to 19th century. And then to sum up the diet, it's no grains, no sugar, no bread, no potato, no butter, no milk, and for some reason, again, no pork, no salmon, and low sugary fruits, and maybe some dry wines. That's what's from the history. My own kind of version of it that I practice, I eat a lot of fatty protein, what I call it. My foods, I do eat salmon, I eat shrimp, I eat some chicken, and recently started adding some grass-fed beef, and I usually have a couple of meals a day. I do intermittent fasting. I have my green salads as my main vegetable source for now. That goes with a couple of spoons of olive oil, a lot of greens, some maybe mushrooms. I do not eat any fruits except lemon in my water, and that's about it. So try it out from this Banting diet from the very beginnings of the whole diet history. It might just work for you, and it's quite simple. So no starch, no potatoes, no fruits, no grains, no sugar, and you lose all the fat that you need, especially carb-resistant people. I'd give it a try at least 2-3 weeks. If you have any questions, if you need more information or more customized plan when it comes to a low carbohydrate diet, when it comes to Banting, when it comes to ketogenic diet or fat loss diet, shoot me an email to Angela@createyourself.today, Angela@createyourself.today. Look them up. I'm also going to post some links in the show notes, of course, that you might find interesting and useful. And thank you for listening, guys. I love you all. Appreciate you. Till next time, eat better daily.